we have added the ability to have different detail tabs. And let me see if we got a couple of minutes if I can show that. Okay, let me do a quick search over here and find the thing that I'm looking for. Okay. Okay, what I just did in the system is I told the system that we are running a vertical market application called AutoShop. And what the system then does is whenever you drill down into a detail panel, the first thing it does is say, am I running a vertical? If I'm running a vertical, then I go out and I look, do I have a vertical detail panel? So for AutoShop, we have a much simpler customer detail panel that only has the company, cell numbers. It happens to show their serial numbers, which in a production system are going to be the vehicles for the customer. And there's just a whole lot less information for setting up a new customer and maintaining it. Or you can go to the Advanced tab button here, and the Advanced button then brings up the full customer detail record. So if you have customers that don't need all of the information that's on a panel, we can create vertical panels, and then those vertical panels are called by the application as they're available. So that allows us to customize the interface without having to make changes to the base Stream application.
Oh, that's really interesting. So a customer is in a vertical market, for example here, auto parts, and you can customize the panel for them.
Yeah, you create a new, this allows us to create, what we looked at is we said, do we want to create a whole new application for specific verticals? And auto repair shop, not parts, has a much smaller subset of data that you have to deal with, both in the customer record and in the catalog record and other places. So instead of generating a whole new application that has to be maintained and delivered, we said, okay, we're just going to create vertical panels, and the code that pops up a panel checks if there's a vertical, if you're running in a vertical mode, and if there is a vertical panel, it'll then pop it up instead of the default panel, and have an advanced button that takes you back to the default panel if for some reason you need to get to it.
Can the headings and field names be changed in the panel as well?
Well, for in the vertical panel, you can change them. For example, using the edit field label, like that. But you normally wouldn't do that, because the whole purpose of creating a vertical is to use the terminology and the fields that they need. So on a vertical panel, you would normally by default have the correct terminology.
I'm talking about like the code, like you have code 1, code 2, code 3.
Oh yeah, those are all changeable, but you wouldn't have them. You wouldn't have those on a vertical panel, because the whole idea of a vertical is you've already made it very, very specific. You could have them if you wanted to, but in most cases you won't. In the general system here, for example, on the code fields and stuff like that, you can of course change them. And call them whatever you want. But like, for example, on the liquor store module, whenever we get around to that, you would have a separate customer detail panel like this for liquor store that would have the liquor store relevant fields on it.
Right.
Instead
How
of
about inventory? Is this feature available on inventory screen?
This feature is available on all panels.
Okay, great.
So let me switch this back so I don't forget. And here you see I did this with a policy record. Now this is one of those, the vertical market is one of those base level items that only gets checked as the system comes up. It's not something you can change on the fly.